Hey, how you doing? Hey, thanks for commenting. Thanks for sharing. I really appreciate it. Getting some awesome comments. Today's a beautiful day in Bangkok. I'm getting up on one of my favorite rooftop places to hang out. Beautiful view up here. It's so nice. All right, I want to talk about something like very near and dear to any guy's heart. And I cannot fucking believe how bullshit this is. And I really can't wait to hear what your feedback is on this episode. All right, so parenting, right? So why do guys get married? What's the main reason? The main reason is to have a kid, right? So you want to have a kid and you want your own kid, right? That's why you don't go to, why don't you go to like a adoption center or something, right? Why don't, people go to adoption centers? Actually, in studies, they've shown that women are least likely to go to adoption centers. Men are much more likely to go to an adoption center for a child. But why don't guys, even that being said, guys are more humane when it comes to taking care of other kids. But why don't you go to adoption centers? The reason why you don't go is because you want to have your own kid. Why do you get married? Because you want to have your own kid. You want to have offspring, right? You want to teach your son. You want to teach your daughter. You want to leave something in this world. You want to, you know what I mean? You want to leave your genes, right? You want to leave a little you, right? A mini me, right? That's why women and men have babies, right? And so now today, with DNA testing being so cheap and easiest thing ever is to get DNA testing now. You guys, if you want to come over to Bangkok, have it done, super cheap, super fast, no problem. And you can have a good time while you're doing it. But I'll put it down, links some below. There's a ton of websites now in the States, in North America, where you can do DNA testing super cheap. I don't make anything from this, but it's really worthwhile. And I want to say, like, okay, what got me thinking about this whole topic was I was watching this video, right? And the video was on races. So they had a bunch of races on there. And I'm sure you've seen it. It was pretty viral, right? And they had all these races on there. So they said, okay, well, who do you hate? And they said, okay, well, I hate this group. And then they did a DNA test of the people. And they filmed the people who had part of the blood of the type of person that they hated. And of course, at the end of the video, I'm sure you've seen it, it's all over the internet, but basically they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm part, whatever it was. I'm gonna go out and make friends right away and love fest, right? That's all great. Great video. I enjoyed it. I really thought it was a great video. But the more I thought about it, the more fucked up I realized it was. It wasn't that there was anything wrong with the video. There's nothing wrong with the video. The thing is the reason why the video is possible is because you can do DNA testing for like pennies now. It's like nothing to get a DNA test, right? You can check if your DNA, what percentage it is, West Indian, what percentage you British, whatever you want. You can find out your DNA really fast and really easy. You don't need any blood. You can use hair, you can use spit. There's so many ways. It's no problem. So part of making content and like figuring the world out is not so much thinking what's out there, but it's thinking what isn't out there and why isn't it out there, right? So there was this video that shows racist people who had the blood in them, right? And then I thought to myself, what the fuck? Like, okay, why the fuck? If it's so easy to do a DNA test, why the fuck don't they do it at the hospital when you have a baby? Like when you have a baby, there should be two things they should say. One, they should say, it's a boy and it's yours. Or it's a girl and it's not yours, right? That's the first thing they should do when they test when a baby's born, is you should find out if it's your baby, right? It only makes sense. I mean, it costs pennies. It's no problem at all. You don't need any blood. You don't need to stick any needles in anybody. It's not a big deal. Obviously, guys, the whole reason why guys are jealous and a lot of the essential body functions of a man are built into us because we're so concerned, evolutionary-wise, about our own offspring. So women don't have this. Women, when a baby comes out of them, they know that baby was theirs. It's 100%. There never in history has been a baby come out of a woman and she didn't know it wasn't hers, right? And she could have been a surrogate, she knows, right? But it's totally different for a guy. And I'm not just talking about logical here. I'm talking about like deep psychological stuff here. I'm talking about stuff that there are internal processes in your own body that work beyond your total understanding and comprehension and awareness to fight the fact that your baby might not be your baby. Like, there's so many things. Like when you're away from your woman for, like, say a couple days, like a weekend, and then you come back and you have sex again, you release millions more sperm into her. And the reason is because your body, even though you don't mentally realize it, your body's like, shit, she might have had sex. Some other guy's sperm might be up in there. And so I'm going to release millions more sperm to make sure that if she does have a baby, it's going to be my goddamn baby, right? So it's obviously a huge, huge thing. And why the fuck do you get married? You don't get married to raise someone else's kid. I mean, one of the biggest scams in Thailand is like one of the like longest term scams is like, the guy will buy a house here, and then his wife will forge his signature and change it to her name, and so he comes back and his land is now in some Thai girl's name, and it's a really common scam, and there's really not much you can do about it. You just need a dirty lawyer and change the name on there, right? But the point is, the name on contracts matters, right? And the name on the DNA matters. Look, if you don't care, you got to think about this. Your first reaction, right? Hey, what's the difference, right? Let's say, for example, some guys, I honestly doubt too many people watching this video are going to be thinking that, but let's just say that somebody was like that. Say, oh, it doesn't matter, I love the kid anyway. Okay, you might feel that way once you have the kid for a while, right? And the key thing is not to have it around, right? So you don't get that, you don't develop that bond, right? That's one of the problems with having bad friends, and that's, you know, you are a result of the 5 people you hang out with, right? So if you hang out with bad guys, you'll develop bonds with them in relationships, and it'll not help your life. It'll hurt your life, right? So developing a bond is something you don't want to do with the wrong people, with the wrong influences, right? You want to make sure you don't develop a bond, and single mothers are very, very careful and aware of this, and they make sure the child doesn't develop a bond with a short-term boyfriend, right? Because they know that maybe most women are dumb enough to have done it a couple times, and they realize, oh my gosh, the kid's like really sad and it really hurts the kid when he leaves. So they say, okay, well, now I'm going to shield the kid from this psychological bond. So, and the thing is that fathers, which they don't give a fuck about, have just as much of a bond or more than the kids do, right, to the kids. And so when the father gets taken away, or the uncle or whatever, for whatever reason, it's really hard on the guy, and mentally it's not easy on a guy, right? So don't do it to yourself. Basically, what I would recommend very highly is, I think, why the fuck don't they check all the DNA? I'm serious. Every goddamn kid that comes out, that there should be somebody checking the DNA to make sure it's the father. And I looked online, I was trying to figure out what percentage of men are raising someone else's kid. And it's not easy to get this information because there is no studies. There are no studies. This is the kind of thing that, a Voice for Men or any of the MRA groups could do a great job with, because it doesn't cost much to check DNA. And the person you're checking the DNA doesn't even have to know. You know what I mean? You can cut the hair. A barber could check the DNA of all his clients. You know, you have the son come in, you have the father come in, and the barber just checks and says, okay, well, that's not his kid. You know, easy enough, right? Easy enough. So there's many ways to check the DNA. Now, why? I don't understand. You tell me, why the fuck is this not common? I mean, we do it for videos to shame people when they don't like other people, right? Which is fine. Like I said, I thought the video was great. But this is like a really far out reason for this. I mean, what is the most expensive thing you're ever gonna buy? It's not a house, man, it's a kid. Your kid is the biggest investment you're ever gonna make financially, and especially time-wise, but financially, even just financially, in your whole life. Your child is your biggest investment, period, right? Unless you're a billionaire, right? Then it's different. But for normal guys, for most guys, your biggest investment is your kid, and your second biggest investment is your house, right? Or it could be the other way around if you're in a really expensive housing area. But basically, it's a huge, huge, huge financial investment. Anybody knows that, right? So, what I recommend anybody watching this is to, first thing, if you're a father, the first thing you want to do is you want to go and you want to cut your hair, and you want to cut your daughter's hair, son's hair, and you want to take it down to one of the sites I'm going to put below, and you want to check the DNA. That is one of the very, very first things you should do. And if that DNA is not yours, if the kid is not yours, oh yeah, that's right. There's no statistics on this. Can get this? There's no real statistics. I looked online and all I could find was really varying, like huge variations, like 1 in 4, 1 in 50, 1 in 25, you know, just like random. I'm sure that the only way you get a number like 1 in 4 or 1 in 50 is if you don't test very many people. So if you test 50 people and there's one that's not, or if you test, you know, 4 people and 1 is not, that's how you get these kind of numbers. Real numbers are like 9.65342. You know, that's like a real statistic, right? The reason why there is no statistics is because nobody's doing it. Women, feminism and women are scared shitless of finding out that they are not raising their husband's baby or their boyfriend's baby. And that's the fucking truth. That is the fucking truth. And women have gotten a fucking free pass on this one. And I don't fucking know why. I honestly didn't have no fucking clue. It's probably fear. It's probably fear from the guy's perspective. It's like, why isn't there a national like bureau for checking if your kid is your kid? I mean, it's your investment. It's your fucking life, man. You only have one fucking life. The kid's gonna be with you for 25 fucking years or something, right? If you're raising the wrong goddamn kid, you should get the fuck out of there, right? I tell you, man, I was gonna write a book, is how to steal your own money. And I know this is, you know, probably there's a lot of legal issues and look in your area and all that and consult a lawyer and all that shit. But basically what I would recommend is if you find out that you're raising a kid that's not yours, right? I know that society and everyone's gonna say, oh, this is really terrible and all that. But I really don't care. I really don't care. These are things that are very fucking important, okay? This is not a small thing. If you're raising someone else's kid, not only are you raising their kid, not only are you wasting your time, not only are you not propagating your DNA, not only are you a fucking cuckold, right? Who looks like shit, and the older you get, the more you're gonna realize it's not your kid, it doesn't look like you, right? And so that's one thing. But it's the money investment, it's the time investment, it's the fact that you will not be able to raise your own offspring because you're raising another man's offspring, right? Which is fine. That motherfucker should be raising it himself, right? You know, let him know, find out who it is, and then give it to him. Say, look, what I would recommend doing is getting the fuck out of there. So basically cashing out all my liquid assets, selling my house as quickly as possible, getting all the money into Bitcoin or some way that I can quickly move out of the country. And I would just leave forever, personally. At least the thing is, if you leave, you don't have to leave really forever, but the thing is nothing lasts forever, right? So if you leave for, say, 25 years, people forget all about shit. If you're gone for 25 fucking years, trust me, you're gonna be fine, right? So just get the fuck out, steal your own money, cash out, move to another country, come to Thailand, go to the Philippines, go somewhere where you can totally start a new life. Or if you wanted to, you could just stay inside your own country and change your name or find some way to hide or whatever. But I don't think that really works. I think it's best just to let everybody know where you are and get to a country where they don't have an extradition, and you're not going to be extradited anyway. But I think it's fair, very, very fair action for the offense. Because the thing is, it's not just that you're raising a kid. I was going to say this earlier. It's the fact that she lied to you. That piece of shit woman who has no fucking morals at all lied to you, and lied to you at the most sensitive time in your whole life. I mean, think back to when she told you she was pregnant. Think back to those days. Think back to the dinners. Think back to the talk with your parents. Think back to the hospital. Bring them all back, baby. Like a fucking video camera, like Technicolor, Hollywood. Remember all the things you did, all the nice things you did. That you carried this, you made sure she didn't have to do that, because you were so worried about her being pregnant and carrying shit up the stairs, and you bought all this special shit. I think, personally, and I've said this before, I think not only should women, when they get caught raising someone else's baby, they should not only pay all the money back, but there should be damages too. I think it's not just enough to steal your own money and get the fuck out, because you've been fucked. It's like somebody who's been gang raped. You can get out, and then that's fine, and you're safe now. But what about the fact that you were gang raped, right? It's like, there needs to be justice for that, right? And it's the same thing with this kind of thing. Men, this is the biggest offense that a woman could ever do to a man. Okay, there is nothing else worse except for kill the guy. And the idea that this shit can go on and nobody gives a fuck and nobody even tests. I mean, what about the TV show that shows, hey, guess what? Guess what? It's not your kid. You know, I want to see the TV show like that. That's what I want to see. I want to see the fucking Jerry Springer with the fucking, guess what? This kid isn't yours, and we did some research, and guess whose it is? You know, it is blood. And then he comes out on stage, right? Like, this is your life type of fucking video, right? You know, I think that would be fair. I mean, that would be good. That would be awesome, you know? I mean, of course it's going to fucking cause a lot of trouble. I mean, there's no question it's going to cause a lot of trouble. But I mean, like, really, seriously, guys, we're men, we're mature. Which is worse? Finding out, being fucked over and not finding out, or being fucked over and finding out? I mean, anybody like me, I always want to know the truth. I want to know more. You know, even my relatives that are passed away, like after they die, I always want to find out, like, what's the real deal with these guys, you know? Like one of my friend's grandfathers, when he passed away in Japan, I went to the funeral, and I always thought he was a really super nice guy, you know? And nice old man, right? And then when he died, his family started breaking down and telling me all these stories. He had all these girlfriends, and he had run away for like 30 years, and he had just come back before he died, you know, which is when I met them. And then he had, you know, he had been kind of a good grandfather at the end, right, to the family. But you know, and a father, but he had left in the middle, and the family had forgiven him, and he had come back. And it was an interesting story, and I thought about him totally differently after that. I think that learning about life and learning about people is totally fair. I mean, it's a fucking great thing. It looks like the sun's coming out here. Oh, you can see it's beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's so beautiful up there. Bangkok is really coming up. Look at all these cranes. Look at that there. Crane there, huge crane, huge new building there. Let's look here. Here's another one. Look back there. You see two back there. Two huge cranes. No, three huge cranes. You have two right here. Two huge cranes right here. And then you have back there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cranes straight back there, just to the left of the gold domes there. So, you know, it's amazing. They're really building this city up. And you can see they're going to start building down there. You can see the empty lot. They're starting to tear down the old shanty towns and really build this place up. It's fucking awesome. I love progress, man. Fuck the environmentalists. I love progress. I love the environment too. That's the fucking thing. I fucking spend a lot of time in nature. I'm just not the same as them. I have a different viewpoint, right? I have my own fucking viewpoint. How about that? You know? And it's not exactly the same as some fucking book, right? I got my viewpoint based on my experience, right? And I love both. I love the environment. I fucking love animals. At night I go and fucking feed cats sometimes. It's fucking fun. And dogs. It's fucking awesome. Like homeless dogs and cats. And at the same time, I fucking eat meat all the time. I fish, I hunt, and I fucking love fucking developments. I love real estate. I love fucking cool technology that's coming up. And I think human beings have a right to live in a fucking house. How about that? They got a right to live in a house. They got a right to develop land. They got a right to eat, right? We have a right, you guys. The whole thing about everybody telling us we can't do everything, we're not supposed to do everything, all that is, and my friend told me this the other day, and I really fucking resonated with me, it's just control. They're just trying to control you. They pick things that, you know, that you do every day, like eating, so that way they can control everything you think and do, right? Because you can't do anything without asking them what's okay, right? What's okay? Can I do this? Is this okay? Am I bad if I do this? You know, is this okay? Is it okay to know that my kid is my kid? Is that okay? You know, the kid that spends 25 years of my life or 50 years of my life thinking about, worrying about, helping, giving money to, is it fucking okay that I know he's my kid, or that he's my fucking neighbor's kid, you know, or her old boyfriend's kid, you know what I mean, or some guy in a bar that she never saw again's kid? Is it okay that I know that? I would say it's fucking definitely fucking okay. So if you're looking for some like positive reinforcement on this one, I would say go and do a DNA test. If you have any kids, do a DNA test. If you have a father that's around, grab some hair, go fucking do a DNA test and find out what the fuck your family's real history is. Stop fucking living in a fucking fantasy, right? Find out what it is. Find out if it's your son and it's your daughter, and you find that out, good for fucking you. You had the balls to find it out. Some bonehead put a comment earlier saying, if you would check these things, that means it's a bad relationship. That means that you don't trust. That is bullshit. That is total bullshit in my mind. I totally don't agree with that. I think it's trust but verify, right? Of course, you're not gonna, the baby comes out, you're not gonna fucking just leave, you know, just like, oh my God, it might not be mine, fuck, I'm out of here, you know, and buy a ticket to Thailand, right? No, man, you're like, oh, hey, cool baby. And then you're like, oh, I just listened to that Ronin man video. Fuck, let me see if I can get some hair and check this baby out a bit, right? And then you find out that it is your baby. You're like, fucking hey, there's my kid, right? If you're gonna have a kid, you may as well have your fucking kid, right? I would know, the only way you should raise somebody else's kid is if you know. It's just too big, it's too big of a breach. It's too big a breach. It's unforgivable. You know, it's unfucking forgivable. The other thing you could do, which is totally illegal and I can't recommend this, but I would say that I could understand it, is kidnap your kid and take him somewhere else. If you find out it's not yours and you just want to take care of it anyway, because the cunt who lied to you and stole your money all these years, you can't really get it back, right? But you might want to, if you develop a bond with a kid, you might want to just take him somewhere else and like have a good fucking life, you know, and just basically tell her to fuck off, you know. It's like not even her kid, not even your kid, right? You got to fucking, you do whatever. You've already put in 25 years into it. You'll hold him for another 25 and send him back. I'm not 100% serious there, but hey man, I know that everything's on the table. When it comes to shit like this, everything's on the fucking table. Really, all weapons are on the table. If someone lies to you like this, if someone cheats you and you don't get revenge, you're fucking crazy. Revenge is one of the best fucking things you can ever do. I highly recommend fucking revenge. I love revenge. I'm not an angry person at all. You've seen my videos. I love fucking people. I love the world. But when someone fucks me over, the best thing I can ever do is fuck them over again, because that gives me peace. That really makes me feel a lot better. I don't know why no one ever says that. But when I fuck a guy over who fucked me over, I love it. Or a girl who fucked me over, I feel so much better. I don't know about other people. I don't really know. But I can tell you that. I've said this for years, and my friends are always like, what? You know, like, how can you say that? You know, like you're like a social, cool guy. Like, how could you? It's like, no, man. It's like someone fucks you over, you want to stick it in their ass, right? Abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah, find a way to stick it in their ass. Highly recommend it. You'll feel so much better afterwards. I always feel way better after I get revenge on someone who fucked me. Again, I'm not into like causing trouble, looking for trouble, but if someone fucks me and I find out about it, I'm gonna fucking do something. I'm not the type that's just gonna sit around. I'm gonna fucking get some revenge, even if they don't know it was me. I'm gonna fucking, it might be straight up me too. Sometimes that's required. It's straight up fucking mano on mano revenge. But other times it's like kind of fun just to do it silently, you know? It's like whatever makes you happy, right? Just fucking, someone fucks you, you fuck them. That's all I can say. And you'll feel better. You will fucking feel better. Trust me on this one. Sitting there with your ass puckered and your fucking manhood fucked, and you're standing there going, I'm such an asshole. That's the worst feeling ever, man. That is the worst fucking feeling. Fuck that feeling. You don't want that feeling. No, you want revenge. Sweet fucking smart revenge. Make sure nobody knows. Don't tell anybody. But get some sweet revenge. I could go into a revenge video, but I don't want for legal reasons, I don't want to tell the specifics, but I tell you something, it's the best thing you can do. And I tell you something, it's the same for them. If I was an asshole, someone should get revenge on me. That's the way it is. And you know, that's why you don't be an asshole. That's why you be a nice person, right? That's why you don't go around fucking people. But if some cunt is lying to you in your most sensitive moments and stealing your money and stealing your time and stealing your affection and fucking you in the ass. I mean, imagine her with a huge strap on with rusty nails in it. That's what she's doing. If she's doing that, I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But I don't think that's cool. I don't know what the answer is on this one, but I guess my main conclusion at the end of this is that you should find out if your kid's yours. You should find out if your dad's your dad. Just these kind of things. If you could find out your grandfather, find out as much as you can about your family, because it'll teach you so much about yourself. You can only do this while they're alive. Once they're passed away, you're not going to be digging up their grave, right? So make sure you do it now. Make sure you do it while you still got time. Find out everything you can about life. Be unafraid. Be unfucking afraid, man. Go into the world like a fucking man and find out the truth. find out the truth and let the chips fall where they may, right? And again, I'll just say one last thing. It's like, actually not again, this is new, is you want to be careful not to have a knee-jerk reaction. You want to really think about what you're doing. Really think about how you feel. Take your time on this one. Once you find out, once you've done the DNA test, cool off a bit. Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure that you're comfortable, because the changes you make are going to be forever, right? So you have to make sure that this is what you really want to do. It's how you really feel, and it's what you want for your future, right? And also you want to make some good decisions. You don't want to, like, 'cause she fucked you in the ass, she hurt you. You don't want to hurt yourself, right? That's really important. That's the main reason, is you want to take your time. I'm not saying to cool it. I'm not saying not to do something radical. I'm saying you want to make sure this is what you want to do, because it's way, way, way too important for you to have, you know, like, second guess yourself. So take your time, but find out. Trust but verify, baby. Trust but verify. So DNA testing is awesome. Ronin, man, every fucking buddy should do it. Test everybody you can. Find out the fucking truth. Anybody doesn't look like you, oh my God, you fucking test them motherfuckers right away. Somebody doesn't look like you, are you fucking kidding me? Get straight down to the fucking test. Send it to all four. It's only a couple $100 or something to get a DNA test. So, you know what I mean? Make sure, double check, triple check, whatever. Just, you want to know, man. You want to know. And you know, sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes the truth is not fun. But I'll tell you what's even worse than the truth is when you find out years later. Remember that movie About Schmidt? I heard this from another MGTOW video, and it was really great. Basically, the guy what's his name? Jack Nicholson. And after his wife died, who he loved and he took care of when she was sick, and I forgot it was cancer or whatever, he did everything he could for her, right? After he was cleaning out the room and he found a diary that she was in love with another man. She was having an affair, and she was like in love and didn't love him. And he found her diary. And then he had controlled her life so much, his life, that he didn't even piss standing up because she didn't like it. So here she is dead. He finds out she fucking did not love him. And so he goes to the bathroom, he's sitting down taking a piss, and then he like looks, he stands up, and he starts pissing and laughing, right? It's like, you don't want to be that. That's the way the movies are. It's like you can get revenge in the end, and then it's all good in the end, and don't worry. No, man. That guy should shoot himself, right? The fuck? He waited till the very end. No, man. No, man. Find out earlier. You want to find out this shit as soon as you can, and then make quick decisions. I mean, women are brutal. You need to be like a fucking ninja, man. You got to be hardcore. Stop this bullshit where you're like this pussy, where you're not doing anything, you're not checking anything, you're just not like even doubting or letting your mind go there. No, man. Fuck that. Go there. Go there. Go there. After that, you can always decide what to do later. You can always decide, but you will be a better man afterwards, because you will know the truth about your own life. If you don't find the truth about your own life, I want to find about the truth about the whole fucking universe, but I mean my own life, I definitely want to find the truth. And I'll just say my last thing is, there's nothing too depressing in life. You can handle any news. You can handle the news that your father didn't love you, that the kid wasn't your kid, that this and that. When you face these tough things, that's when you start learning, and you start growing and going deep and reading and studying and making new friends and finding out new information and finding out that you're not the only one. There's other people, but most of them don't even know. And that you're the guy who actually went out and made some tough decisions and saved yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of your life. So you can go and fucking do whatever you want. Because it gives you a chance. If someone fucked you, right? Someone fucked you with a fake kid. You you got choices now, man. You know what I mean? There's no emotional bond anymore. The guns can come out. You fucking can make those decisions. And what often happens is you don't even fucking love her anyway anymore. She's a cunt, she's overweight, she looks like shit, and she's being a total bitch. And then you find out it's not your kid. It's like, hey, fucking, that's so easy. It's perfect. Just you're the fuck out of there. And you're never married again. Never make the same mistake twice, right? You learn once, right? So there you go. There's my take. There's Ronin Man's take on DNA, baby. I hope you liked it. Have a good one. And thanks again for all the comments, subscribes, and fucking shares, you guys. They're fucking so gold for me. That's what motivated me to get up today and climb up here in this building, make this video. So hey, have a good day, guys.